Water Me Sis, live on our network. You are now watching Water Me Sis.
Hi, welcome to Water Me Sis Live. My name is Jaleah, your host, and I have two beautiful ladies here, my co-host.
Yes, I'm Drea. Happy Sunday, y'all.
And
I'm Taylor. It's good to see y'all.
she's also my co-host as
Yes,
well.
she's new.
And
She's joining us. This is her first
Joining
one
us.
with us. Well, officially as a co-host, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
So welcome her
Yes.
to Water Me Sis Live. Thank you, sis, for joining us.
Thank you
and
guys for
being
having
with
me.
us.
Yes,
So we definitely appreciate it. For those that have never been to Water Me Sis Live, we did want to let you know that my sister, Jaleah, she is the creator of Water Me Sis, my bestie, my boo. And I'm pretty sure she's tapping into the comments. Hey! And so she is definitely the creator of Water Me Sis. I did want to let you know a little bit about it. Water Me Sis is definitely a sisterhood off of growth and self-development of women. So what we do is we definitely water each other in order to produce the sweetest fruit and the most precious flowers. So that is the point. We tap in every Monday through Sunday,
Yes.
all the time on
Always
her
something
group
different.
that she created, and we are sharing recipes and like just watering each other. So if you're just tapping in and you definitely want to be a part of Water Me Sis, sorry fellas, it is only for the ladies. And so we do want to give a brief disclosure that we know that you're tapping in. Hey,
Yeah, we see
but we do want to let you know as well that we just want you to take notes, because we are really just giving y'all a little bit here and there, letting y'all know. So tap into as well, because we want to know what y'all want to say, and definitely want to know what y'all want to hear. So today we're talking about genuine relationships,
Yes.
right?
Building
Genuine relationships. So first, I was thinking that the first thing is that you need to build a relationship with yourself before you start building relationships with other people, right?
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
what's your thought on that?
Self-love is the best love. And I mean, like, how can you really be anybody? How can you give to someone else if you're not working on yourself first? So I definitely think that's important.
Exactly.
They say that you can't love anyone until you love yourself. So it's absolutely hard if you can't see yourself as stronger and able to get back up. So if you don't love yourself, you don't care for yourself, you don't give yourself that time. Yeah, you can't really give that energy to anybody else either.
And I think it's really important too to take some counseling. Like, I think, especially Black people, we kind of look at that as like, like,
now that's true.
what happens in this house stays in this house, and like not even trusting a professional to be able to, work through problems. Or I feel like some, that can help you, just
Definitely.
instead of trying to work on it internally, like talk to someone. So that's important.
It's definitely important, because sometimes we be going through stuff and we can't talk to other family members. We can't talk to to friends and stuff like that
About certain things. Yeah,
exactly. And on countless times, I've definitely wanted to talk to somebody
and have an unbiased opinion, because
somebody that didn't know
your family,
me.
your friends, they can still be very biased. So at least talking to a complete stranger, but it's a professional, that way you can get literally somebody from the outside looking in. Because if it's your friends, they probably already know the backstory, so they're gonna have opinion based off of that, opposed to if it's just literally somebody that's just from the outside looking in.
Exactly. So basically, what are some things that you can like say to them are good ways to start loving yourself? Like,
well, the best ways to start is you have to look in. Some things you just have to accept about yourself, and it takes a long time to sit there and actually mull through the dark side of ourselves. But that doesn't always require us beating ourselves up. Those are, being able to give yourself affirmations, get up in the morning and speak good thoughts into yourself.
yes.
We don't speak as highly of ourselves as we need to, and that's why our lives don't move as highly as we dream and see them as, right? So you start with speaking to yourself, getting up in the morning, having a routine, getting yourself organized in whatever manner that looks like. And I think those are ways to start. And then I think when you get your finances right, you're already starting to feel better. I can go buy some stuff and do some things for myself, get some monthly massages, do things that are for you, not for anybody else. I always do like pedicures. That's my thing.
And speaking of that, y'all, today is Selfish Sunday.
Yes, it is.
So, and it's not too late if you haven't got to do anything for yourself yet. You can still go ahead and take care of that. Anything, if it's just by sharing your meal without your children, eat something by yourself. Do something for you today. So yeah,
catch a quick bubble bath or something
before
you go to bed. Get that good night, so Monday don't feel so bad.
What I think is nice is sometimes just taking yourself out on a date. Like doing something for yourself. Go out. I mean, we can't do that now, especially because of the COVID. But hey, why not just do it at home? Get you a bubble bath, make you a good little meal, get you some
oils, play some just buy that.
Right. And so, next subject, like as far as now, We definitely dealt with ourselves, but now we gotta involve people.
So what about like with friends? Because that's important, you know, when you have friends to build genuine relationships with your friends. So let's talk about that.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, with friends, you meet them, you vibe, you catch, you know, this feeling amongst one another and this trust and this code, you know, that is amongst you that's, you know, said but not always said. And you want someone that people that you can trust, especially. Like that's what kind of breaks a lot of friendships, I think. Are we always on the same page, or are you competing with me, or
right?
You know,
yes.
I don't want to be friends with somebody who's trying to compete against me. Like, let's get it together. If I got it, you got it. That's how I always treated my friends. I don't know.
For real, like you should never have to feel like I have to watch my back in a friendship.
That is very true.
Like, or I can't, if I tell you something, it's going to be told to the next person and the next person.
Right.
You want to be able to be like, okay, well, I told her and I know it's going to be safe. You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of times that we need to set boundaries as well in friendships, which comes with communication in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like you have to be able to communicate with someone. Like it's very important to communicate like off top. Like even if it sounds awkward or weird, like let's just go ahead and talk about it. Shoot.
I guess with me, I feel like I have the definition of what a best friend is just all messed up. I feel like because I was basing it off of how many years I knew her. Like, you know, like I knew that we've known each other since kids, you know, so you've seen each other as the years pass. You've seen a lot in that person's life. So I just feel like because we had those experiences, I've known that person the longest or whatever, that considers them your best friend. But I've come to find out now that has nothing to do with it because, you know, there's people that are more loyal to you and can show you that in a shorter span than someone that you've known for 12 plus years.
No, that's true.
Sometimes total strangers will support you more than the ones that have been riding right next to you the whole time.
Exactly, because I think that the root, let's just get to the root. Like, I feel like the person isn't mentally ready, like, or mature enough to maybe like handle being around you. You know, like what? Like, how come we can't shine together? Like, help me shine, then I'm gonna help you shine, and we all shine together. You know, like that's how it's supposed to be. Not, oh, I see what she got going over there. Like, it's not how I roll. You know,
right? Or just both just putting in the effort to really make a friendship work because you can have one person who's really putting forth that effort. And, you know, make sure that, you know, even though we don't see each other, I'm still texting you or checking up on you. And the other person is not. Like, they don't really care. It's just like that kind of makes you feel some type of way, too. If I feel like you're not really working as hard for this friendship as I am. So it needs to be equal.
Yes.
It's such a hard thing to, because there's so many different types of friendships. Like, when I was in college, we hung out all the time, like every single day. We were at multiple meals periods together. We were hanging out. We partied together, had a good time. And now I don't talk to them. I don't see them. Some of my closest friends, like they're away, and when we do speak to each other, it's like maybe quarterly, and it's every here and there in between, and a text here, and just let them know that, hey, I love you, and I hope you're doing well, and it's a quick conversation that lasts for long. You know, you have those times you have your long lost friends that you hit up, and it's like nothing ever changed. So it's like it's really difficult to gauge what fair is, and I think it's just based on each of our relationships.
But I'm saying though, like we've actually stamped, and made it public, and people know that that's my best friend. They know, okay, when I see Drea, I see her. I just feel like when it's actually a title on it, I guess you can say, like, that's your best friend. You just want to feel like that person is putting forth energy too. Because, I mean, I have friends like that, and you can't have friends. I would say my friends, I have a lot of friends, but I have friends that, how can I explain this? Like, friends that you can do different stuff with. Like, I know if I'm with her, this is who I get ratchet with.
Mhm.
If I'm with her, this is who we sit in our bonnets and watch movies all day with. You know? So I just feel like, but if you're my main, like this is my best friend, like I don't want to feel like I'm doing all the best friend and you know, like everything that I've done, I've shown you loyalty, and you ain't did shit for me. Like,
Right. Exactly.
nobody wants
So
to feel that way.
I definitely agree with you. That's what you mean about like the partnership of it. Like I put in 100 and you put in 100 too.
Yes,
You know.
absolutely.
And we got some comments in here, and I did want to say my bestie's in the comments.
Hey girl, hey.
She did say, I don't think that time dictates the trust within a genuine relationship.
Absolutely true. I found that out the hard way, and I think that it's kind of it's ruined my perspective of like meeting new people going forward. Because I'm just like,
Me as
a
well.
bitch I've known for 20 years could do me dirty. I just met you, you know. So
yeah, this is touchy, but yeah, because I'm like, I don't even know if I like after having best friends and stuff like that. If I for the longest, I didn't even want to be around people like.
Your team, no new friends, no new friends.
Yes, for real. Like me, myself, and I. Okay, because I'm not trying to have to deal with people and like their problems, really. But because I don't really try to push my problems on people, but that is what it is. Sometimes you need some help, so that's understandable. But if it's just like you said, put in the work. You put in some work. If you put in some work, you be in there when I need you. You know what I mean? So I want to know what y'all think about friendship and how y'all feel about what it means to you. Like, tap in and let us know how you feel, like, what a friend is.
Are you team no new friends or not?
Exactly. Like, I don't want to deal with folks, or, all right, let's go ahead and be friends. But you want to know what? I did want to say that when I joined Water Me Sis, it did change my whole view of like everything, and I have been like more open. And I think that because I did take a long time to do some self-reflecting and loving myself, like I am able to deal with people and wanting to start new relationships and friendships and build a team,
Yeah, we can't be sore for so long, and but we are a group of women that have come together on one accord about the same type of thing, so it works. So when we did the brunch and we connected through Water Me Sis and the podcast and things, like it's that those are the things that were able to bring us together and make the connection. You always, like with the brunch, you always got to find something that both of you are interested in, and that's where the spark comes in. And then it's like, oh well, okay, well, I think you're cool, and then it's beautiful and complimenting each other. And then that's where you blossom. There's something, it's beautiful friendship that happens, right? And I love it because we've had some good times.
Right.
I was
just about to say that. Like, that's kind of how it is with us. Like if I would have never let my heart heal and open myself back up to meeting new people, like I would have never met you.
Exactly,
like,
that's true. That's true. I wouldn't have met like everybody that I've come into contact with so far, and everybody that I have has been like wonderful and really cool and very different from me, and I really love it. You know what I mean? Like I really have enjoyed the journey of that. And then my sister also said, my real genuine friends, I don't talk to every day. Sometimes we go a whole month between talking. But when we see each other, we pick back up and where we left off. No hard feelings. Absolutely. And definitely, like I have a wonderful, wonderful friend. And we do not talk every day. But I definitely would say that she is my friend, because it doesn't matter how long we haven't talked. We can talk for like not too like 3 years past or something. But every time I see her, it's wonderful. You know what I mean? Like we just pick up where we left off. So
naturally.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do have friends all over the country, and you know, they'll call me, and when we do get to talk, it's always a long conversation. And it's like that time never passed. So there's a handful, but most of my genuine friends are not here close. And I do have some friends here, though. I do have a handful of people, but you know, you still want to keep your circle pretty tight. You know, I'm the type of friend that I disclose a lot of information that probably not everybody should know all the time or whatever. Like, but you know, but it's back and forth. Like, it's never always the good things and just the negative things about life. Like, and we're building each other up. So I try to be an open, genuine friend. You know, we don't want to be closed and only give people, because you know, there's a self. We have ourselves that we know. We have a self that our family knows. We have a self that we have people perceive of us.
Yes.
So, you know, we just have to be able to be not, you know, all over the place when it's trying to, you know, actually build genuine relationships.
Yes.
Yep, and just learn from your mistakes, because that's how I am. Like, okay, that hurt me. I just bossed up. I still meet new people, but I know now, okay, how to move because of what I've been through, and how to handle people and not, you know, do certain things because of that. But don't close yourself off completely.
Exactly.
Just
and don't be scared to actually go out and try it. Like, we put a lot of invites and stuff, you know, like we can even do Zoom calls if y'all want to start there, you know what I mean? Like, just so we can talk to each other, you know, let us know in the group, you know, tap in, let us know if y'all want to do Zoom calls. We can start there if you don't feel comfortable, you know, like meeting and stuff like that.
We should normalize that. Like, as much as y'all be hopping in niggas' inboxes, why can't y'all? Why can't we be like, dude, like, she seems like she's cool as fuck. Like, what's up, girl? Like, let's hang out. Like, oh, let's be friends. Like, we should normalize that. Like, who does that nowadays?
I know. Well, you know, we tried to start. My sister said, like, start with when you're out somewhere. No. She said start when you're out somewhere, just say hi. You know, like, hopefully y'all been trying that. Like, if y'all see a sis, just go ahead and say hi. You know, how you doing? Even if she doesn't, even if she don't even say nothing back, just keep it pushing. Don't even get offended.
It's gonna be very rare that she's not gonna say something anyways, especially if you give her a compliment. Like, we are gonna start, you know, immediately put that guard down a little bit, like, okay, hello, thanks, and you know, start from there. If they respond to it, then you keep it going, right?
Exactly. You gotta keep it pushing. Don't even take an offense. So yeah, like, start with that, then go ahead, hit the inbox.
Right. Y'all want to be friends? I'm open. Look, my Facebook is us. No, really though. If y'all need a friend, like, I can do that. We could just need someone to talk to, vent to, whatever.
Definitely during this COVID time, we're all stuck in the house. Things are different and going crazy. Like, we need to be supporting one another. It's getting crazy out here, and people are getting sick, and you know, it feels like things are unsure, but things are going to be really good. So just keep that mindset. And, we'll definitely be here to support. We want to support you guys.
Exactly. That's what we basically do, like, Monday through Sunday. We're always, like, putting up encouraging messages, letting each other know that you can do you can do better. You can, whatever you were thinking about doing, like, go ahead and do it. Like, this is the time. This is the time, girl. We want to water you, sis. Go ahead and join in to our Water Me Sis group. Like, because we're definitely wanting to build relationships and friendships.
And a lot of how we were able to connect was through the business connections as well. Like, we met each other and were able to, I was invited on to do the podcast. So it's, you start there and you're like, well, what do you do? Well, this is what I do. And especially during this time, everyone is starting to branch out and do their own thing and work for themselves. And we all have been able to, you know, see each other develop and move through that, which is really cool. And then we're able to help each other through that process too.
Speaking of that, of us, you know, doing business together, we do all have an event coming up. This Saturday. It's called High in the Clouds. It's a pajama powwow. You can come, bring your pajamas. We're gonna chill out, good vibes, good music, right? And good food. I was good food by Tay. And
bomb food, okay? Like,
we're gonna play some games, and it's gonna be real cool. So if you want to, you can go on to eventbrite.com and purchase your tickets for $15. It's called, what is it, under High in the Clouds is what it's under. So yeah, y'all should come kick it Saturday if you ain't doing nothing.
Yes, it's gonna be good. Plenty little snacks, but it's gonna be BYOB, BYOW. So
Wear your mask.
Wear your mask. We're gonna have some hand sanitizer, and like don't be sharing nothing. So you gotta bring your but the jungle juice is on us. We definitely, but it's first come, first serve. So if you ain't there and it's gone because others just enjoyed it, then that's on you.
Right.
And it will not be self-serve. We will be taking care of y'all, making sure you're good and we're being safe in there. So, but we're gonna have a good time. I'm excited. We're excited. The speed dating event went really well, so we know the next things are gonna be great to come as well.
So you was like right on point with that building the professional relationships.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Exactly.
That's important too.
Oh, yes. It's very important, and the follow through is important as well. I mean, like, not only
let's talk about it. God. Let's talk about it.
Really? Let's get the elephant.
Yes, let's talk about it, because like for real, like somebody got to say it. If you own your own business, like, I mean, come on. Like, you got to follow through. You got to be professional.
Yes,
like,
professionalism. Like, I don't care who you think that you just are, and you think that you just, like, made it or something. Like, no. I don't care if you have, like, this high name. If I pay my money, I want to get, like, my money's worth.
Right. Just not be orchestrating no events. If you're not going to, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Do not be orchestrating no events or doing nothing if you're not going to follow through. Especially when you have other people with their business names putting their name on the line. I'm just going to say it. I don't care. Like,
okay. Well,
it is what it is.
Say
like,
it
needs to be known.
Yes.
And I've just been seeing a lot of stuff, especially with being new to the owning my business and stuff like that. And I'm just tired of it. I'm just like, geez, like, what is so hard to follow through with what you say you're going to do? If you say you're going to do this, do that for me.
Period. And on time. Like, when you said that you was going to do it. Yes. Like, if I communicate with you, because I love communication. Okay? Because if I'm going to spend my money, I want the top of the line, like, really, like the royal treatment. Give you the royal treatment on anything I spend my money on, please. So a lot of times, like, the professionalism people, it'd be so off. You'd be like, really? I even had to tell, okay, no, should I?
Like, we are live.
We are.
Sometimes, y'all, we just be forgetting. We just be here just talking.
Well,
like, ooh.
I can agree, but some people go into business and they're not businessmen and women. They don't know how to actually go into business. They just had an idea, they went with it. But, some of them have you can't think that somebody who was not that great of a worker is going to have the same good attitude in their business. And if they can probably develop out of that. But, I worked in customer service field. I've worked in front desk. Like, I'm front facing, making sure people are overly happy by the time they leave, right? So I'm used to being able to have that, to understanding how that works. But if you can't show up to work on time, I don't know if you can even show up for yourself on time. But hopefully, because you're working for yourself, you are your motivation, you are your own driving factor. You got to make sure that you represent yourself properly. You're going to be being rude to people or not communicating what's going on. If you let people know ahead of time what's going on, they are less likely to be upset. And that's just customer service 101.
Yes.
Communicating with your guests, with your clientele. So, and, being a person who's building a business, who has a big dream, like, I have to start and make sure that I'm walking in the things that I'm saying. If I said I'm going to be here and I'm going to do this and that, I'm going to make sure it comes out right. And God forbid anything does not work out, that I'm able to flow with it, give your money back, or, work out whatever in our agreements. But maybe you guys might have to start writing contracts and things like that, hold people to their word.
Absolutely.
But, that's a part of the process too. But, You can't just be out here doing bad business and burning bridges and thinking,
Right.
I got
Say it again, Taylor.
Right.
Say it again.
You can't be
Because
out here
look,
doing bad business and burning bridges.
right.
And you realize that word of mouth is the biggest marketing scheme of it all,
Man,
y'all.
isn't
They're
it?
gonna tell you good stuff. They're gonna tell you more bad stuff than they'll tell you good always. That's why we say there's so many haters in life. Like they're gonna go talk about the bad stuff before they say anything good. So
Right.
get out there. You got your business, shine, but follow through. Be consistent with yourself.
Definitely be
Your partnership,
Yeah.
if you're in partnership with someone, or just to whoever you're selling to or whatever, like both ways, or if you're including other businesses and the stuff that you're doing.
Yeah. Yes.
Come correct.
And sometimes things don't work out, and it's even last minute and out of your hands. But you got to let people know what's going on, because I can't pull up and be like, "Well, you said this, and that was happening," and then it's not. So.
I don't like that. I don't like the switch up. Don't switch it up. Like, if you gonna tell me something, okay, like it's gonna be this day, then that day I'm expecting it to be done. Like, and then sometimes I even be like, okay, let me go back and let me read these messages, because I do understand as well. Everybody is starting businesses. Everybody does not have a website. Sometimes you do have to go through people's DMs, okay? But when you have like everything there and you're like, okay, I know I communicated right. Like, I know I asked for your Cash App. Like you said, like it was, I didn't even know. Okay, so I'm not, no, I'm not going into it. I want to go into the stories, but I'm not, because then somebody gonna know it's them. So I'm not gonna do it. But anyways, in general, I feel like when somebody is trying to communicate with you, I'll be going back to the messages. I'll be like, well, maybe it was me. Maybe I wasn't like more expressive about what I wanted as a person. Okay, because I swear I said that I wanted it this day and it wasn't available on that day. And like no communication, no nothing. I'm like, did you expect me to know your Cash App? Like, was I supposed to give you a deposit? Like, I don't know. So I just feel like people should just follow through. Oh, and then don't just be like, a deposit is okay. That's cool. Sometimes people want deposit for things, right? But have y'all ever had to deposit for a tattoo?
No, I don't have tattoos, but I know you put the money down first.
But I've never.
They do your tattoo. It's good. You pay, right? You put the deposit down, and if it's good, you pay for it. Most of them are supposed to be refundable, right?
I don't know about that. I guess I wasn't communicating well, but I was just like, I don't know. A deposit is fine and everything, but I hit somebody in their inbox and I said I wanted to cover up, and I was like, hey, like, can I get a cover up? And he said that he wanted a deposit for a tattoo, and I was like, oh, I never heard that before, but that's fine and everything. But he hit me with he hit the name drop, and I've never heard him before. And I was just like, oh, well.
I just think that in that situation, some people, like, first you have to think about what it is that he's been through, because maybe he's been through stuff where he's booked appointments and people didn't show up or whatever, and that's why he specifically, charging a deposit. But he should have communicated that with you, like, okay, because you said that. Oh, I've never heard of that. He should have been like, okay, well, I do charge a deposit because such and such. That goes back to communicating. Like, that's when you're doing your business. You could avoid all that stuff because he missed that money from you.
Yeah, right. But in his eyes, he's making money. That's why he blocked me afterwards and everything. So I was just like, oh, okay, because he hit me with the, like, when I hit him with the, I don't mind about the deposit or anything. I was like, I just want to like see your work. I just friended him on Facebook or whatever. Like, yeah, you can see a little bit of stuff. I was like, before I drop a deposit, I just want to see a little bit of your some more of your work. And then so he hit me with some emojis and was like a laugh emoji with a peace sign. Like I was just like, oh, okay. I was like, well, thank you. You know, I said the emojis were a little bit unprofessional.
Extra, you're
I said
right.
unprofessional. And he said, well, if you want professional, go somewhere else. But over here, I'm making money block. So I was just like, man,
See, all that could have been
can't do
avoided
it.
because you probably would have felt more comfortable paying the deposit.
Right.
You know, if you would have just been a little bit more, explain a little bit more why he does, since you're not used to that.
Exactly.
Opposed to me, I do understand, just because like a lot of stuff that I do, I book services for, like your nails and stuff like that. They want their deposits before they do that because people be wasting their time. So I get that.
Oh.
But
I know that was
at the end of the day, like it's still important. If you own a business, that you shouldn't allow people to bring you out your character just because someone pissed you off, and now you got to go on your business page and talk shit about your experience that you just had with a customer, all that. So
right.
it's just important.
Probably, but I'm not that petty. I was just like, oh,
I've been seeing
moving
that
right
like,
along.
oh, Jay, you out here just putting all the business out on how she didn't make you happy.
Oh,
is this
right.
business or is it not?
Right. Is this your business page or is this your personal page? That we gonna talk about that
when we come back.
When we come back, we gonna take a quick break, y'all. Like. To Water Me Sis Live. We are talking about genuine relationships, building genuine relationships with people. Professionally, like we're talking about all of the subjects that we can build a relationship. And so before we went on the live, we were just talking about being professional. Like if you're going to be in business, be professional at all times. Like, yes, people will try you. Like maybe he thought, the story that I was telling, maybe he thought that I was testing him. You know what I mean? But hey, in always be professional, because at the end of the day, it is your business. It is your name. And so we were talking about separating your business page from your personal page. Like the separation, because I definitely have seen, I'm like, where is the separation? So are you selling or are you like like showing your videos? Which one?
Oh man, that's a funny.
I don't know if I could look.
So I started I have my Facebook, and then my Facebook put my Facebook on a hiatus, my personal one, and started getting my plan together how I want to come back with it, and then I had my business page separate. But everything that I post about my business, I post on my personal page because I get more love and more energy from my personal page. I have more people there. So I definitely understand where you're like, oh, trying to, but sometimes like that's the only way I can build traction on certain things. Like posting certain types of pictures and then putting my food stuff in between. Like it's very frustrating, y'all, because we want true support. When I post my food and stuff, it like when I'm posting my work and the things that I'm doing, it's good to see when more people are giving you love and reacting and things like that. It's it's good motivation to see that, but sometimes you got to put in between a little shake some and a little, I don't know, to get people
now I definitely
to
agree on that one.
I don't know. It's frustrating because it should not have to be that way. It should not have to be that way. I'm
contradicting myself on this one.
That's why I ain't
right. Like, okay, contradiction.
Like my page, my personal page that start off as my personal page. Mm-hmm. Yes, I have my business page, a separate business page, but this is my personal page. So I also post my business stuff on too. So if you know me, this is what I'm doing, but this is separate. But I feel like when you're, how can I say this? Like talking about people when it comes to your business on that page, I think that's very unprofessional to do that. Yeah. Like when it comes to that.
Yes. Like, so what you're basically saying is
I would never go on my page, even though it's my personal page, I would never go on there and like literally put a whole personal experience that I had, like, oh, this bitch had the nerve to ask me for some product and da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, I would never do that because it's still talking about something that involves my business. And if you do that, who's going to want to buy anything from you?
Period.
Because it's like, dang, if I do something that she don't like, is she going to go
and put it on her
put the
page.
Business on social media?
Exactly. So unprofessional.
But some people, they treat
about.
Facebook like a diary. And they're just telling all their damn business.
And, it's very entertaining. Like, let's not let's just keep it real. Like, I'd be like, ooh.
The comments.
But, like, at the same time, like, you gonna catch me more on you're gonna see my business. Like, and it's cool. That's just me, because I just,
you would never do that, would you?
No, never.
Like, it might be something that we would talk about, like, girl, she came and then she asked me to do this and that, but would you live it on your personal page?
Never.
Talk about nature rock jewelry or some experiences you had, talk about somebody.
No,
when it involves your business,
definitely not.
No, and
it's not of anybody else's business. First of all, like, I didn't want to know like about your experience with other people, and like maybe I feel like people don't have nobody else to talk to. Obviously, if you have to put it on social media, because like I think that's unprofessional as well. You shouldn't. I am petty.
As fuck.
Like, very petty. Like what?
Yeah.
Okay, so please, y'all, if you have businesses, it's okay. I'm saying to have your stuff on, obviously, promote your stuff on your personal page. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you need to be able to separate, sometimes, because if everybody is watching you like do a certain thing on Facebook and say a certain thing, and then you're promoting your business as well, like, I don't want to support that either, because of how you're carrying
like
yourself.
That, I was like, oh, I would never buy nothing from you. And then the situation that the person was talking about wasn't really even crazy enough to be able to put on Facebook like that, to tell people how you're so pissed because this was a situation that you got into with somebody who was trying to buy something from you or set up something with you. Like, that just was not even worth it. I was like, oh, I would never work with you, because if something rubs you the wrong way, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna go and just tell Facebook how.
Exactly, because we couldn't communicate, because it all boils down to communication, and obviously some communication went wrong. And then what people be thinking as well is they don't be looking at themselves and what they did too. Like, look at all ends. Like, okay, maybe I didn't say that, and then be woman enough, man enough to be like, okay, I didn't explain that.
So I have a question for y'all. What do you think if you, when it comes to business, if you have someone who kind of has a bad track record, to where it's kind of like you see the stuff they do, nothing really seems professional. Like you probably genuinely wouldn't see yourself working with that person, but if they inquire to you and like, hey, Tay, I want to team up with you, and you do the food, I do this, but you can obviously see they don't have a good track record. Well, would you give that person the benefit of the doubt and give them a chance, or you just kind of like, nah, like, you ain't showed me that you can get your life together, so I'm not fucking with you?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to my business, like, I want to be able to, and, I say this because, what I say, I got to hold true to myself and my own standard for if I were to ever be caught slipping in a situation. But if you say you're going to do something, you have to deliver. And that's just how it goes in business. And the money, like when money starts getting touched and, you're messing with someone's name, with someone's, with their dreams and stuff. And if you're not doing what you said you're going to do, you're just really like, it rubs me the wrong way. In benefit of the doubt, there are some situations where I'm like, okay, well maybe, but most people, just like my customers and my clients, they're serious to believe it. I have to feel the same way. But once your actions aren't going with your words, I can't really. And that's in all my relationships. Like if your actions and your words aren't correlating, then I can't. I have to tread lightly and be cautious on what we do next and how we go about things.
So what do you guys think about the fake it till you make it thing? Because, a lot of people like to fake it till they make it, so they do say that they can deliver, and because they want a chance, right?
Well, I mean, to me, yeah, do that. I mean, do what you gotta do, but I just feel like at the end of the day, it's just like, until you do something to me to where you show me otherwise, like, that's all that matters to me. Yeah, okay, you can be faking it till you making it, but if we do business together and then I see one thing where I'm just like, now, this is not what you had on your profile photo that you said this is the work that you do, and now you just showed up.
Wish.com.
Oh, no.
And now you just showed up and this is not even the clothes that I ordered, or this is not how those things look like.
Hey, I've had that experience before where I was in a fake it till I make it situation. And thankfully, I was doing wedding invitations, and I still do them. I can create them, but what my client was asking for, I couldn't necessarily do after the second draft came through. So it was kind of like, okay, well, I'm just going to, it wasn't, I don't believe it was any hard feelings. I just thought that we were in agreement with what we were doing. I was just tweaking and trying to get the font right and the colors right, but what it looked like, the outside of the invitation, and that's what I thought, she was comfortable with, and it wasn't. So I hope that there's no hard feelings or anything like that, but it definitely was a learning point for me, because there's some stuff you just got to make sure you're good at, and that's when you're doing over 100 of something, that's a lot of work. You got to make sure that you actually can get hands on and be doing what you say you're gonna do, and you have to deliver. So and I've learned that in business, and sometimes you slip up and you do fall and you have those low points. I definitely had to stop and regroup and decide, like, is this something that I know that I can do and deliver? Because like, I'm putting my name on this now, and that's my family name, that's going to be my legacy. And I'm just starting, but you want to start on good feet as best as you can.
Exactly. So back to what she was saying, I'm just saying, I was trying to put that to go along with it, because someone can fake it till they make it, even though they had a bad track record. So you saying we giving people chances even though they have a bad track record? Me personally,
I can't do it.
Record. No.
I'm not willing to take the risk for my business. I feel like if that's a disclaimer. I'm just gonna let y'all know. Do not ask She Smooth to do anything unless you can say no. I'm just kidding. No, but for real, like, I'm just tired of it. Like, you gotta come correct. Because everything that I do, everything that we do, like, it's when we say we're gonna do something, we do it, and we don't half-ass do shit. And I just take my business that seriously to where I'm not trying to half-ass do anything. So if you can't show me some type of portfolio that proves that you can come through on your shit, then no, don't waste my motherfucking time. Ooh. Period. Don't waste my time. Don't waste
Period.
Yeah, I do agree. Like,
and I'm just like that now because of what I've been through. Because before, I was giving chances and being optimistic. Like, okay, like
Me too.
maybe for this time it'll be cool, or you know, I see she don't really, or he don't really do, you know, ain't really did nothing that I like. But let me try. Let's see. It might be different, and it still be shit. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, why the hell did I even put myself in this situation? I'm done. I'm done doing that. Like, no, you have to show me that you take your business as serious as I take mine.
Yeah.
And don't ask me to do nothing unless you're really serious with following through.
Yeah.
I hate that shit. I hate when people, I got an idea, let's do this, and you don't follow through on it. Like, that pisses me off. Anything that I say that I'm gonna do, if I really believe that that's meant for me to do, I go through and I do it.
Me too.
Don't waste my time.
I want to be able to say that when Jaleah, when you asked for something from Jaleah, she had that follow through. Like, if she said that she was gonna do something, she did it. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and fake it till I make it. I'm gonna be like, I'll definitely try. You know, I'm not sure if I can do that, but I'll definitely try.
Right.
You know, I'm not gonna fake it. I'm not gonna fake the funk. You know, I'm just gonna be honest
that's true.
truthful.
Yeah, and I feel like with my situation where I felt like I faked it, so I definitely, like, my client knew my position and knew my ability. They knew, you know, we were college friends and things like that. So it was there, but you know, you still have to communicate. You can't, when you fake it till you make it, you still have to get to the point, like, if you are drowning, you can't keep it going. You need to give your client enough time to get out and have other options. You need to come to them with other options if you can. Like, be proactive, and that's how you are able to kind of excel and maneuver around the faking till you make it. But you can't just fake it till you make it and not be a good problem solver, or you know, or not communicating what needs to be going on. So I know with that situation, I could have done better, but I know it wasn't necessarily like a super pitfall. I definitely gave her plenty of time to, you know, my drafts weren't good enough. So, you know, and that's my personal experience and example, but you can see,
and I would appreciate that. You know, even if you couldn't deliver what I need you to do, if you just at least communicate, like, hey, this is not, you know, I'm not able to do this. Can we do that? Give me options. Like, then I would feel better, and I would probably still work with you, because I'm like, hey, this happened, but she showed it. Figure something out for me. Period. You know?
Yeah. I
like.
mean, why am I the sucker? Because I do feel like giving people sometimes second chances. As far as, you know, if they did, okay, I heard. I did hear, but I want to give you a chance, though. I want to give you a chance. And I'm telling you, if you do me dirtball,
so if you see, hold on. If you see a person who owns a business and literally everything they put out there is trash.
Okay, wait.
No, that's what I'm saying. If someone who owns a business, everything they put out there is trash. Like, it's not professional. It's not, like, you just see how they move. They move real sloppy. And then all of a sudden they hit you up like, hey, we want to go into business with Nature Rock. Let's partner.
Now that's if I can see it. Now that's if I can see it. If I see it's trash, I know it's trash. Yeah. Then of course I'm not going to accept the trash. Right. But I'm talking about hearing word of mouth. You know, like, sometimes we do need to listen. That too. But haters. But then there's always a hater. There's always a hater. You will always meet a hater along the way, and you'll meet that hater and their product or whatever is not trash. They were never, it wasn't them. It was the person you just met along the way talking shit about their stuff. So
find out for yourself.
Exactly. That's just all I'm saying. Find out. I like to find out.
It
for
depends
myself.
on how many people I done heard it from. Because I feel
Now that's true. Confirmation. Now three confirmations. Okay.
That's a research aspect, because, like you said, some people just be talking off the side of their neck, or it just wasn't the thing for them, and it, you know, like. I wouldn't check at every hotel and then read every Yelp review and be like, I'm definitely not staying there. Like,
I trust the review.
Me too.
I review.
I do.
I've worked behind the scenes, so I don't trust none of that stuff.
Really?
No.
Because I think that it would have saved me a whole apartment. Right. There's roaches and there's motherfucking bed bugs, okay? Like, and they're still there. And I should have listened to the Yelp, because Because guess what? I definitely looked that shit up. And that's what they were saying. And I was like, no,
Oh
okay,
God.
well, this was like from like 2000.
Right,
You know, like
When you said maybe they got rid of them by
Yeah,
then.
like,
Oh my God, shut up.
Okay. I'm sorry. I had to say
it was
that
in the
back.
price range, and then had the nerve to actually talk to them, and I was like, yeah, you guys don't have any problems, do you? Like with any
And they
bed
gonna be
bugs
like,
or any no, definitely,
And we do have pest control, so if you do see something,
it's something,
right,
yeah,
that's
we'll
what
go
I
ahead and take care of it.
Nah,
So Yelp is
trust the
definitely
reviews
for
right.
sure.
Yes, exactly.
I'm
Now,
gonna
if it's
have to take it back.
one,
Right, one
all right,
out
because
of
there are some people who
Well,
are just
Once again, that's another situational thing because I've worked in hotels where it wasn't like I've done the best I possibly could for my client, or for my guests in front of me. I did the best I possibly could, and they still went and ragged me down and gave us a 1-star review on the not the Yelp but the Marriott reviews and stuff, and they drag you or drag other people. Like, so there's sometimes where you do everything that you possibly could and they're still not going to be happy. So I mean, but that's in everything, so you just got to read between the lines. But yeah, if you see a couple things about roaches and rats and raccoons, and I
wouldn't have lived there, back in the day.
I
Shoot, like I would have just been like, let me just go ahead and listen to this, because obviously if a couple of people, like more than
but you got to compare your price range and the area of town, and you got to and I'm sure that's hard if you're traveling and living in new places, but around here Denver is very predictable. You know what's what.
But girl, it looked nice in there too. Yes. No, they didn't upgrade. On top of the bed bugs and the roaches.
Anyways, we're talking about building relationships.
Yes.
We talked about business. What about literally when you're in a relationship? Because that is important. It's building a genuine relationship when you're dating somebody. Like,
Yeah.
So can we talk about that?
I know.
Man,
My bad.
But real.
I got lost there because
like,
we was just
anyways,
well, we got to
already
the building
talked
the
about
relationship. We was talking about the building the relationships with the people that other people say bad stuff about. Like, are we gonna actually deal with people like that?
Good
That's
stuff.
where we was at.
Good stuff. I know, but I'm just kind of like, okay, well.
Well, building, genuine relationships that's hard, especially during now these times. But I won't say it's hard, but it can be hard. It's tedious to get to know a person over and over again. If you're not in the dating scene and you're trying to get back and get your feet wet again, it gets a little nerve wracking. And you think you know a person or you think you got some good information, and then people start showing their true colors.
Right.
And so we have to definitely be cautious, but we have to be, I think, whole with like 100% an individual. Like, I need to be a whole person before I can go and try to even do a relationship. Like, I gotta know that my flaws and the things and be able to know that I can work through those things and not project that and bring that into the next relationship. And but also maneuvering around your partner too, because they have their own. They're supposed to be a whole individual too, and I have my goal in mind. I know what I want to do when it comes to relationship, and if we're not on the same page throughout this process, it makes it definitely hard as we get the ups and the downs and
Right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about dating relationships. So
stay tuned, y'all.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to
Welcome
Water
back.
Sis Live. Before we went to break, we were just talking about building genuine relationships. And we were talking about building relationships with people, just friends. We were talking about building relationships in the professional. And so now we're talking about building relationships with somebody your significant other, somebody you want to like mix some mocha with.
I want to know, like, honestly, like, what are things that you feel like you and your partner should disclose to each other, like, in the beginning? Like, I'm talking about before y'all even, or if you're just considering, like, he's a potential, you know, so that you're considering dating. Like, what do you think are important things to disclose? Just like literally from jump, like. From jump.
Well, I think that you should tell people if you have kids from jump.
Yes.
Like, just get that out the way. Do you have some kids?
I think you should ask about their previous relationships and like why they ended, how and maybe why they ended. Now you might only get one side of the story, but at least you kind of get an understanding of maybe what goes on in that person's, you know, past. And I
can see that.
I've done that.
Okay.
Living situations.
Yeah,
that's
for
important.
sure.
Mm-hmm. Who you stay with? You know, with your mama.
Right. For real. Though. You gotta disclose it. Let them know off top. I think that you should let somebody know about your health in the beginning. Like, you know, if you have some health problems, I don't think that it's fair for you to have me like fall in love with you and you only got a year left. You know, I think that would be messed up, or you know, I think that you should definitely disclose stuff like that.
Y'all tap into the comments and tell us, like, what is something that you want to know from a guy or a girl that you're dating up front. Like, I don't want to have to wait, you know, and find this out later. Like, just tell me right away so I can just decide. And, like, speaking of that, I mean, like, what are certain things that people tell you that are, like, deal breakers? Where you might be like, ooh, like, definitely changed my mind on that one. Like,
honestly, kids. Like,
kids?
Yeah,
really?
because I don't
if
have
you got 12
any.
kids, it's a no.
Oh, it's a no. Sorry. I'm sorry. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot.
So, I mean,
and for me to not have any.
About it, but I don't think that would, like, completely, like, steer me. Necessary.
That would be you.
Yeah, me.
I'm like, I don't have any kids tonight. If I had some kids, then I would be okay with that. Then let's collide and try.
That's why I'm thinking about that.
Exactly. But I don't to not come from any. I'm not saying that I would not date anybody that had kids, because I definitely will. But it's just like the amountage of them. It's like because how many baby mamas?
You got 12.
Because exactly that as well. Because I've dealt with baby mama drama, and so I definitely want to know about that as well. And that is a deal breaker.
I mean, that kind of stuff too. Like, you're spreading yourself so thin, and how can I really have yourself to you to me? How do we really gain, you know, those type of connections? I'm sure that people do it, but I understand where you're coming from with that. Sometimes, like, you got a lot going on. Because that gets included into your life to an extent.
Yes, definitely. You take on everything of the partner. So,
and I feel the important one is, do you have a job?
Tell
me that from jump, nigga. Do I gotta come pick you up?
Right.
Or are you on the bus? Like, I think that's just something that you should let know ahead of time, just so you know what you're getting yourself into.
Exactly.
And you can decide, like, okay.
Right, I could deal with I could deal, but I cannot deal with that. So move right along.
Yeah, it's like, and it's all situational, fellas. Like, you know, some of us will bend and will be flexible for certain things. Because I have friends and I know stories that and things that we have gone through and done ourselves. We were flexible for somebody, okay, and it might have not worked out or whatever, but we still, you know, people are gonna give you an opportunity and a chance, like. Because I'm not higher than anybody. I'm you know, I do me as best as I can, and I try to be humble within myself, but I'm a growing person, so you know, and we can be flexible, but there are some things that I agree that you just cannot.
Right. Like, okay, you said that when we met that you didn't have this, and now we've been talking for a year now. What's changed?
Right.
Like, I can understand like if you don't, but have you been really working toward, you know, making your situation better or whatever? Like that's important to look at too. Like if
Right.
when you met that nigga a year ago, if he's still in the same position that he was in a year ago, it's just kind of like,
why go to number 2 and 3?
right.
I mean, like, get
Period.
yourself out.
Yeah.
Hurry up and get yourself out, sis.
Period.
Like, while you can before you add on, you know, babies. Because then that is where you'll probably feel stuck. So, it's very important. Not everybody feels stuck. I want to point that out. Don't hate me because I said that. But, you know, morning comes before destruction sometimes.
Absolutely.
So,
But sometimes too, it don't even be that. Like, you know, it's just the other things that you just love about that person to where you overlook those
yes.
things. Like,
Oh,
you just got some
definitely.
good-
Oh,
We do
You
been
know,
there,
little stuff
been
like
there,
that.
done
You
that.
know, we'll do a lot of let a nigga get with a lot, okay? Because you got some good dick, drive your car and everything. So,
period. Sometimes, like, what? She's like,
I thought she was
no.
giving me the look like.
No, I was like, oh my gosh, oh my lord. You know, like I said, we be flexible for y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
we
need the same energy back. I deserve a lot of things. I am a queen. I work very hard. I've put myself through the ups and downs, and every day I work harder to be a better person. And I try to give you that same love and energy. I expect that back. And I expect communication. Like there's some things like I don't know. We have our own personal standards, and sometimes like I feel like that's the minimum. This is my minimum standard, and everybody should meet that. And maybe you shouldn't have any expectations or any standard or whatever, but you got to have
what?
you
No,
know.
you need to have some
Yeah, I was
standards.
about to say that,
Yeah, like I said,
have some
definitely
My
standards.
standard, my expectation is like I'm doing that same thing. The same thing I expect out of myself. I expect that same energy from you. You know, what are we doing if we're not, you know, pushing forward and moving towards the same goals and things? Like, what are we doing if we're sitting here for a year, like you said, and nobody got no jobs and no cars and nothing's moving forward, no money's coming in? You know, what are we doing if we're not talking? You're talking about kids and and things like that, but what about everything in between to get to that? Because I want to be financially stable and happy and content with myself, so that I can be a good person within a relationship, so I can give them good energy too.
I think another thing another thing that's important to disclose in the beginning is like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, like we just fucking, or
Right.
do you like me for real? Because then
Right.
also too, that stuff may not matter to you. If you know you just fucking on a nigga, then you know who cares? You don't got this, whatever, blah blah blah. Because we're just doing that. But I mean, if you actually like somebody and you are like, if y'all planning on, like, I'm trying to see where this goes, then that puts you in a mindset. And that can be devastating too for some people, you know, like if you just think like, okay, we think we're just smashing, or vice versa, you think that y'all are gonna turn into something more, and then that person's like, no,
Right. Yes,
we're
that's
doing this right
devastating.
now, like that can be
Right.
devastating.
Yeah.
So,
And you definitely want to talk about that in the beginning, so your feelings ain't hurt in the end. Like, so okay, well, I guess we just fucked, so I guess I'll move it on.
You know, and it's a really frustrating too, because sometimes you get into a situation where you met up with the person, you kick it, you spend time, and then they just all of a sudden are just gone. Like, what happened to you? But you know, everyone's in their lives for a reason and season, so you take some of those L's as wins too for our own. And you know, in these bad relationships or these good ones, we gotta make sure we learn from every mistake that goes through them and be better in the next one. Because man, it's definitely hard to connect with another person on that level, and sometimes hard to detach from someone on that level.
True. So, you guys, we're just gonna go ahead and sorry, but we have to end it. And hopefully
stuff
we
today,
did.
though.
Hopefully you guys did learn a little bit something, tap in about something. Even later, even if you're watching this later, we ask that you tap in. Like say something. I like to watch it later.
Yeah.
So tap in, and hopefully you'll catch us next week on Water Me Sis Live. Bye.
Bye, babes.
Thanks for watching. We appreciate you lending us your eyes and ears.